In this grade 12 English video, we're looking at the September Preparatory Paper 1 Home Language as well as First Additional Language exam scope. We have already covered Paper 3 as well as Paper 2 scopes for both English Home Language as well as English First Additional Language, and in this video we are looking at what you need to study for your English Paper 1 and how to prepare for each and every topic that falls under this paper. My team and I are providing virtual classes to help with last-minute exam preparations for the preliminary examinations that are going on currently. If you are interested in booking a session with us, all you have to do is go by the timetable that you are seeing before you. These are the subjects that we are offering, as well as the dates in which we are offering them, as well as the times. If you are interested in booking a session as well as a price quotation, simply send me an email. With paper 1, the first thing on your scope is comprehension. It's usually your first question. When you open the question paper, you will find a question that is testing your reading and answering skills, meaning that we are trying to test how you can comprehend. Hence, the first thing when you are practicing for this question is that you need to make sure that you are able, or your comprehensive reading skills are polished up. You are reading with understanding. Are you a kind of person that can read and understand what it is that you are reading? Be able to analyze and interpret the title. So can you tell what the comprehension is going to be all about from just looking at the title, and do the two relate? And then answer in reference. So the questions that come in this section, you will see that they will refer you to specific paragraphs. So there's questions that will need you to answer looking at the article as a whole, as well as questions that will just need you to zoom into a specific paragraph. So you need to be able to make sure that you understand what you need to refer to as you are answering. And then we have to make sure that you understand the text, what the messaging of the text is about, or what the writer was trying to influence over the reader. And then also with the text, there usually comes a text B, which is usually a visual text. It's a visual text in that in itself it also has a message. In home language, the message usually relates to what the comprehension in the article is already about. So the visual text could even be a cartoon that has a similar message or a similar connotation, trying to hone in the same idea that the text was trying to bring about. That's where you will also be able to see if they relate and connect to each other. The second thing on your scope is the summary and knowing how to summarize properly. A lot of students have a misconception on what summarizing is. They think it's just shortening of sentences, but it's not. Usually the best and simplest way that I like to give this to students is by making you aware that with a summary, what we are looking for is actually 7 how-to instructions. You know that you're supposed to summarize 7 points, but they're not just 7 summarized sentences. There are 7 how-to instructions in a form of sentences. If you are writing first additional language, those 7 points will be 7 numbered points, whereas when you're writing a home language paper, those 7 points are going to be formed in a paragraph. Your paragraph can be separated with a full stop and commas in between those 7 sentences that are simply just instructions. And you also have to pay careful attention to the word count. In home language, you know, it's 75 words. With first additional language, it is 90 words. So make sure that you are sticking to the word count that will be given to you on the instructions. So make sure that you read your instructions carefully. And then when you start summarizing, even the question itself, it usually states in bold letters what they need you to summarize, and whatever it is that they need you to summarize, you will see that when you look at it properly, it's just simply 7 how-to instructions of whatever the article is about. So for example, if the article is about hygiene or different ways of staying clean, the summary that you're going to give is going to be 7 points on how to stay clean, how to be hygienic in 7 points. Next, we have an advertisement or analyzing an advertisement, and hence the first thing that you need to make sure is polished up is your analyzing skills. So when you are analyzing something, it means that you are able to see the whole thing in full. So with advertisements, it's not just about the picture that you are seeing there, it's also about the words, the website, the fine print, everything that is there. That's why we call it an analysis. You're going to analyze every which way that they use to make this this advertisement. Why did they use the kind of font that they used? Why is this statement in bold whereas this one is in small letters? Why is the picture so bright, or why is the picture not so bright? Did they use a cartoon? Why would they use a cartoon? That's what we mean by analyzing an advert. So you're going to look at it in full. If there's an ironic picture that they have put it there, we need you to be able to detect the irony in the picture. So these are the things that we are looking for. So you need to know what is being advertised, the visual aid as well as the text of the advert, the correlation of the visual aid and the text itself. Who is the target audience of this advert? Who are they trying to target? Who will this appeal to? And with every visual aid, every text, the correlation of it, as well as the language used in the text, as well as the colors that is used, will it relate to the type of audience that they're trying to target? You are analyzing everything up until and including the part where is the success of the advert itself. Will it be able to reach who they need it to reach the way that they have made it? And then with home language, usually you can have two, so there will need to be a comparison. A cartoon is also similar to an advert in that it also tests your ability to analyze the whole visual aid. So a cartoon itself is also a visual aid with text that is within the speech bubbles. Are you able to understand the entire cartoon as a whole? Understanding the cartoon isn't just about understanding what is being written in the speech bubbles, but it is also the aim of the cartoon itself, the irony of it, if there's an irony in it, the sarcasm of it, if there's a sarcasm in it, which are usually the common things that you find in the cartoon, the humor of the cartoon itself. Are you able to understand everything that is being put into the cartoon, including the emotions as well as the tones that are used in the cartoon? Usually the emotions, you find them in the body language as well as the facial expressions. The tone, you will usually hear it in the speech bubble, what type of tone that they're using, depending also on how the lettering in the bubbles is written. So capital letters usually indicate that a person is shouting, for example. Those are the things that you need to be able to see. Can you get the humor of the article, of the cartoon rather, and can you also understand the messaging of the cartoon itself, even on top of the humor? Because sometimes a cartoon, usually it's humorous, but it can still have a serious message that is still attached to it. And also, once again, a cartoon is answered in different ways. So it can also be answered in reference, meaning that there are some questions that will require you to look at the whole cartoon as a whole, and some questions that will need you to just refer to particular frames. The last question of your paper usually deals with editing skills, or rather language editing skills. So meaning that, can you find the errors in the grammar that is used in the language? So you will find that it needs you to correct things like sentences, so meaning that you need to be able to be good with sentence construction, because if your sentence construction is not good, then you will not be able to detect the errors within a sentence. So can you construct a proper sentence? What about detecting grammar errors? So this is spelling errors. Can you detect the spelling errors within different words? And then also, we need to be able to be comfortable with your direct speech as well as your reported speech, meaning that can you write in direct speech? Can you also write in reported speech? Can you do a conversion? If I give you a direct speech, can you convert it to a reported speech, and vice versa? Do the same thing with active as well as passive speech. Do you know even the difference between your active as well as your passive speech? Then remind yourself of your tense conversions, meaning that how to move from past tense to present tense to present participle, continuous tenses, and so forth. Then also make sure that you are aware of your concords, your conjunctions, and your figures of speech and how to use them.
Have YouTube recommend you more of my videos, be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below.